Alright, YouTube,
Yeah.
we're back. We're going to review this trailer. I'm not
You
very,
want to react?
or more review and call,
React.
react or whatever, Mitch.
React
Jesus
review.
Christ. I'm not that excited for it because the second season was kind of a letdown. Not only a letdown, it's been so long that the hype is kind of diminished a bit. Hurry up, we want to see this war happen. So it has to happen this season, right? Because this is the last season? Or is there 5 seasons of
No.
this?
4. There's supposedly going to be 4 seasons.
Okay. Can you give a quick background of the lore, what's going on in like a minute?
Jeez, no. Well, there's a civil war between Targaryen's houses. Generally, Rhaenyra was meant to be the next in line to become queen. But of course, her succession was met with a lot of conflict because one, she's a woman, and
The black hair.
two, a lot of political blackstabbing, really, more than anything. And generally, what started the civil war was a miscommunication. Um, it's been so long myself, man. I've forgotten characters'
Dude,
names,
that's why.
but
Yeah, okay.
the woman that usually wears green from Old Town, she was married to her father, and she overheard him on his deathbed talking about Aegon the Conqueror, and she was basically hearing about the dance, the Song of Ice and Fire, and there was a misconstrued understanding of that. So she thought, "Oh, he wants my son to become king." And this little misunderstanding is what started a civil war that pretty much near ruined the Targaryen family to the brink of extinction. It's the beginning of the end, really, for them all. So, all of season 2 was generally in response to that. The civil war began. Factions and enemies and allies a line was drawn generally. And as far as I can remember it, Rhaenyra's side did the most damage in that conflict. A few dragons have been killed. A few allies who were very powerful and respectful and Targaryens have been killed just through honor and whatnot. I'm really sorry, man. I've forgotten a lot of names, but one I do remember was Daemon Targaryen, who was a big favorite in season 1. Basically, was stuck in a haunted castle for the whole season,
Yeah.
talking to ghosts and getting high. And it was fun for an episode or two, but it's like, okay, when's this narrative going to continue on? And my god, did they procrastinate that season, man. They literally put Daemon in a box, and given his nature in the first season, you'd think this guy's just going to wreak havoc on anything he gets, but no, they literally had to somehow put him away from all the conflict. And in terms of this story, which is part of George R. R. Martin's lore and all that, I'm not really too clear on the actual narrative and whether or not there was extreme embellishments and changes in the TV show from the books. I don't know, but if that is generally what Daemon did for like half of the book series, it's like, oh god, really?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. But anyways, finally it comes to the season finale, and Daemon, with his own bitterness of wanting to become king, I think has finally realized that his sister, Rhaenyra, sorry, not sister, cousin, Rhaenyra is the rightful heir to the throne, and he's now 100% on board in like following her into whatever conflict
That's
they go
right.
in next.
Yes.
Um,
And now it's basically kind of tensions are at its peak between the black hairs and the blondies.
That's right, because I've forgotten his name, but I believe he was another Aegon. The guy that they forced to be king, the son of the green dressed woman from Old Town. I've forgotten her name. I'm sorry, YouTube. He almost got killed, but was burnt to a crisp, and so his
That's
younger
right. Yeah.
brother, even though his younger brother's twice the size of him, has now taken secession with One-Eyed Joe, I call him. I believe he is Aemond
Aemond,
Targaryen.
yeah, yeah.
So in terms of big threats. He seems the one that everyone's most afraid of because he's calm and collected, but he's also very scheming, and he's got the world's biggest dragon at the moment. So, in metaphorical purposes, he's got the biggest nuke out of everybody. So tensions are on high alert, and Rhaenyra has broken a sacred vow, I believe, and has started recruiting bastard Targaryens. They generally call them black haired dragon Targaryens to recruit more dragon riders to get bigger dragon numbers on her side in order to win the favor. And to the most extent, it works. They get 3 new recruits to 3 new dragons, and we get to see a little bit of them in action. They're all pretty inexperienced, of course. They've just been told, "Hey, you've got Targaryen blood in you.
The
You know, how
dragons
would you
won't
like to
kill you.
become a
Yeah.
yeah, you're now of importance." So, yeah, whether how that turns out the next season, I don't know. I do know that this Civil War kills a lot of dragons. By the end of it, there's only a few left, and they either die of old age or of their own battle scars later on. And it's generally this story is telling what was the crippling end to the Targaryen dynasty. That this story was the first steps to what we see in Game of Thrones and Robert's rebellion, and finally getting rid of the Targaryens with good. Of course, this is generally about Rhaenyra and her reign to power and all that stuff. Um, so yeah, that's a lot to unfold for a trailer. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping this season the plot or the narrative or the pacing is a lot more quicker, man, because it really dragged itself to a stop in season 2. And like, I'm a huge fan of Game of Thrones, even though its ending was shit. But yeah, man, season 2 really took a lot out of me. I was just like, oh, come on, you gave us a glimpse of hope with season 1 that you could restore the respect of this whole mythos, and then season 2 came along and then just basically drug his narrative through the dirt, literally. So they really need to redeem themselves with season 3, man. Really off the bat. So
Yeah,
let's see if it has the possibility of it.
my biggest issue was just very slow. I was just like dragging so hard. Hopefully,
It
season
was.
3 will get its shit together.
Exactly. Because yes, you go. Yes,
Without further ado, here we go.
I got pudding for you.
A new dawn is coming. A new line of unsullied kings.
You are the Queen of Dragons. You have an absolute power within your grasp.
Oh, forgot to mention the Valerians.
Soon or late, Rhaenyra will send her new dragons here. It would be the end.
Dracarys!
This is the moment you become queen.
Interesting.
June.
Starts at $10.99 a month. Oh my god, they're trying to get people to pay. Okay, that was kind of gay, them saying that. Okay. I mean, it bloody looks amazing as we expect it to.
Mhm.
We have everyone here. Yes.
And they're still in Harrenhal.
Look at-
God,
he-
get the hell out of Harrenhal.
Is it me? This guy looks like he's like aged 20 years and he's kind of fat now.
It's possible. God, I can't wait for them to leave Harrenhal. I was so excited to see Harrenhal, and then the whole season 2 we spent on it. So please,
Yeah.
for the love of God, leave Harrenhal. I'm done with it. That's the Reach. No, not the Reach. That's Old Town Soldiers. It's probably Alicent's brother, I believe. They
Okay.
kept talking about him. He's like a big deal. Daemon looking badass. Valerians at sea.
They got shut up by arrows. That's probably
There it is.
the forest elves, right?
Yeah, that's probably my favorite character of the whole show, even though his name has escaped me. But
This fella?
yeah, he was pretty awesome. Yeah, and you just know he's gonna die eventually because the Valerians eventually did go extinct before the timeline of Game of Thrones. So yeah, but respects to him. He's probably the most honorable character in this whole show.
I liked
Crystal
this
Cole.
guy a lot. He was probably my favorite character. But then he became a bit of a big dick guy. What do they call him? A gelato? Not gelato.
Oh my god, a bird is the word.
Yeah, he reminds me of one of those juggalos. There we go.
A gigolo.
A juggalo? A gigolo? Yeah, he's a gigolo. I don't know. I don't really like him anymore. He's a bit of a douchebag. All right, here we go. The ships stabbing in the neck, in the chest. Very nice.
Yeah,
I'm liking
Shiv,
that.
Monk.
Wampa?
Oop, fighting someone. Amond, One-Eyed Joe. I thought that was Sansa for some reason.
Oh yeah, that looks nice. That's my wallpaper right there.
Yeah,
Ping pong.
especially when it's out of focus. I think that was Sea Smoke, the dragon. Valerian.
Ah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is the
Rhaenyra.
main war, like the one we've all been waiting for. This is it, finally, or is this like some prelim war, something like, something small?
Oh, look, the civil war between Targaryens and Blackfires and whatnot had a lot of conflicts, a lot of skirmishes throughout the years, but I'd say the bulk of the battles should be shown in this season, and then the politics and all that stuff that comes afterwards will probably in season 4, because they do wink at what happened to Rhaenyra and Daemon and everybody else in Game of Thrones at certain points, and they do the same thing for Night of the Seven Kingdoms. But yeah, I imagine the bulk of the war itself would be during this season. So we shall see how much of it there will be, versus how much of it will be still in freaking Harrenhal. So yeah, only time will tell. And yes, Alicent. I forgot her freaking name, but yes, that was Alicent,
Mm-hmm.
who put her son on the throne under false pretenses, and now it's a situation where both Alicent and Rhaenyra can't stop it from happening because the wheels are already in turn, and the conflict is like Alicent and Rhaenyra are the symbols of this conflict, and yet it seems to be always the men that just overrule the choices they make, especially with Alicent. So it's like they're in a situation where their influence or their force and all that stuff, or their any of that, it's not going to stop anything that's coming in the next conflict. So they really just have to sit back and watch it all burn.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it looks pretty good. Like, I'm not hyped for it or anything. Also, honestly, I probably have to rewatch the first 2 seasons. I've forgotten like 90% what's going on. But I mean, it looks pretty good. That's all I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, that's our review for today. Hit that subscribe button. Do you have any final words?
Yeah, am I excited for it? If excitement had a gauge of 1 to 6, I'm probably at the 1 at the moment. Because yeah, I felt a bit disappointed with season 2. Saying that there was some great moments, and for this, we want to see dragons. We want to see the Targaryen conflict. That's what we're going to come for this season to watch, not people getting high and talking to ghosts and haunted mansions. So hopefully it delivers that promise, because they've got 2 more chances to hit this one successful this season and season 4, and then as they say, the show's supposed to be over. So they need to do it right, and they need to give what the audience wants, which is the conflict, which is the spectacle, which is dragons, and these characters in action. Because Kristen Cole did barely nothing in season 2.
Oh, yeah.
He's supposed to be like the greatest knight of his time in this, and yet the whole time he was just being sour and bitter and all that. So yeah, they need to really step up their game.
Also,
And,
the best character died, and he was your favorite character, right? The father, where he died of whatever disease he had, a cancer.
Viserys, no, he died in the first season, bro. And yes,
Oh yeah. But ever since he died, he like kind of went downhill.
oh, for sure, he was the best thing about the show, man. I love his performance, and I love the choice he made.
Yeah.
It was so epic. Just to walk to the throne, man. It was beautiful.
You seem like
yeah,
a real king, like a real leader. And then after that, it seemed like a bit like a teenage scrap fight or something like that of who
Look,
gets to the throne and all that shit.
Look, yeah, the thing that I love most about this show, even though people are probably tired of it, is there's no real good or bad person. Like some the most honorable people also make poor choices that result in a lot of death and a lot of, you know, consequences that could have been avoided had they have made a different choice. And Viserys was one of those examples. Um, you know, he during his time as king, he should have made other choices for political advantage that would have seen Westeros kept neutral. But he made decisions that pissed off a few people, and on the long run, saw this conflict grow. You know, after his time, one of them circulating around his daughter, who is Rhaenyra. She did some stupid things when she was younger, and she's never really been held accountable for them. And one of the reasons why they disdain about her in Succession is because of those choices she made. So he did things for his family. He put his family first before the realm, instead of putting the realm first before his family. Did it make him a douche or a villainous person? No. But saying that, he should have chose the realm over his family first, if that makes any sense. But at the same time, we still love him for it because he was all about trying to keep his family united. And the second he dies, they're all at each other's throats. So, yeah, he kept the peace for as long as he could with what he had and his stupid little choices he had to live with. So, RIP to probably the greatest king in Westeros that we've seen so far on the screen. I still wager Robert was still a decent king only because he kept the peace for over 20 years as a Baratheon. So, yeah,
All
say
right.
who that as you will.
Well, let's wait for this, and until then, we're all waiting for Night of the Seven Kingdoms because it's probably going to be better than this show, but we'll see. Can these guys turn it around? Can they rival Night of the Seven Kingdoms, even though they're technically in the same universe and they're supposed to be friends? But they're all shit talking on Twitter and stuff like that, apparently. But that's a story for another time. I'll probably
Metaphorical
yeah.
for Civil War.
Yes, I mean I meant that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, catch you later.